Okay, so a lot of talk about what are the Steelers going to do at quarterback? Where are they going to go? Will this be Shedeur Sanders? A lot of people mock Shedeur Sanders to the Steelers, and they just take a really good pass rushing interior defensive lineman who can also defend the run a little. I think it's the right move. I do. And granted, I'm not as high on Sanders as other people are, although I'm also not as low on him as some other people are. And I like Derrick Harmon a lot. I actually had him as interior defensive lineman 2 on my board. And I think in a situation like this where I think the knock is he's not quite the run defender these other guys are, although I think he's a much better pass rusher and a much more complete interior defensive lineman than some of these other guys who are getting drafted even before him are, with the exception of Mason Graham, who I think is I would say he's better. But I like Harmon a lot, and I think Harmon's going to really help out. Again, in a good situation, he doesn't have to be a starter right away. He can just kind of be a rotational piece, but you have a lot of guys on the inside play, so he should be someone who's really good. I like the move for the Steelers, and let's talk about why I like the player. Let's start off with this play. So he's going to be going up one-on-one against an Ohio State right guard right here. It's going to be a play action, so it doesn't know exactly what's going to be happening at the line. It has to be ready to, play run defense or pass rush right here. So, when this play begins, that's kind of what happens, starting off playing run defense. Ultimately now, though, realizes that this is not going to be a running play. It's actually going to be a passing play, and he has to make sure that he can try and get over and make a play. And watch what he's going to do. Really, hands are so much of what make an interior defensive lineman successful or unsuccessful. You look at the ones that haven't made the transition, it's usually they don't have great hands. The ones that do make the transition well usually do have great hands. Watch how he's able to, kind of use the hand to push away. Got a straight shot to the quarterback, unfortunately, just a tick too late as the quarterback throws a touchdown on that play. So, okay, that's not ideal, but I mean, again, that's not his fault. You can only control what you can control as an interior defensive lineman, and he did a very good job of doing that. I will say going over here, so the thing about Harmon is a lot of people have brought up that, okay, he is, there's a lot of, when we look at this interior defensive line class, a lot of these guys are really good run stoppers, and Harmon is kind of the pass rusher on the inside, but that's not to say he isn't a good run stopper as well. It's just he's kind of the guy who does both very well, as opposed to some of these other guys who are slightly better run defenders. But watch this play where it's going to be a one-on-one matchup against a left guard. You're going to see that when this play begins, decent push by the guard, but Harmon's ultimately able to stay put where he's at. The running back is going to try and run next to him. And watch how Harmon, I mean, he dives on the running back like he's a lion diving on his prey. I mean, he gets there in a hurry and is able to make that play. So ultimately, he's going to be a very effective player in run defense. And what's good about him is that he can do both. He is not just someone who you're going to have to put out there on specific situations. He should be able to be, a guy you can put out in any situation. Even something like this, we want to see how he can do against double teams, right, in the running game. I mean, ultimately, teams are going to try and double you at certain points in the running game if you're an interior defensive lineman. How do you handle that? Well, we have to see how he handled it in college. This is going to be a right guard and a right tackle who are going to double team block him here. But watch, I mean, immediately he's able to, again, use those hands to essentially just get around both of them. It's the hands and the footwork that is just so good to where now the running back can't even really think about going in this direction. It's actually the quarterback, who kept the ball himself, but you can't even think about it in this direction. Ultimately, he goes a little bit wider and honestly got tackled from behind because he had to hesitate looking for where he wanted to go. So ultimately, again, Harmon had an impact on that play, and it just goes to show what he can do, right? The fact that he can get around double teams like that is very impressive. I think this next play can really show his hands and how important they are in his game. So right here, that's where he is on the field. Let's see what happens. When this play begins, again, you see him going for more of an outside move right here. This is by design, I believe this is by design. This appears to be a stunt. So he's going to ultimately end up getting to the tackle. Watch, he gets over and is at the point now where, because of the stunt, tackle's definitely a little bit out of position. Doesn't quite have the footwork that he wants, almost is leaning backwards a little bit. And because of that, Harmon is going to be able to take advantage. Watch the power on that side to be able to just get around to tackle, and again, dives. Hey, he's great at diving towards a player. Makes those tackles really well, which, hey, that matters, right? Obviously, you have to be careful and don't get any penalties at the next level because they protect their quarterbacks there. But ultimately, being a guy who can bring the guy to the ground, hey, that's part of his game. Being a good tackler matters, and he certainly has a lot of positive attributes. Like this next one, for example, where again, you're going to see where he is on this play going up one-on-one against the left guard here. Let's see what happens. When it begins, you're going to see that right here, it's that left hand. You see how it's kind of on the, the right shoulder area of the guard. And now you're just going to see his power. Again, 310-pound guy, big guy. Watch what he's able to do. He just shoves him to the side, gets enough where he's able to get through and, again, get to the quarterback for a sack. He gets the hand placement he wants, uses his power to get the offensive lineman slightly out of position, and then once the offensive lineman is slightly out of position, Harmon is so strong, you're just not going to be able to win back, which is just what he does so well. And going over here, I will say, okay, one critique I have of him is, you could like some more versatility in the pass rush game, I think. While ultimately the moves he has are very good, maybe you'd like him to get a little bit more creative sometimes. And again, he's not an edge rusher, he's an interior guy, so there's only so much creativity you can really have. But there are flashes of him being creative. Like this play, for example, going to be going up one-on-one against the center, actually, just due to it's a play action, and they're going to have, things go, the guard is going to pull, because watch, you're going to see the guard actually trips over the center when he is about to pull. So now you have right here, still a one-on-one matchup. Nothing's changed with Harmon, just kind of funny. But ultimately, he sees right here, looks like you would want to go more towards the bottom of the screen, right? But instead, watch him pull off this spin move. He's able to get through, and again, can only control what you can control. Not enough time to get to the quarterback, but he did a very good job, and had that play been covered down the field, he ultimately would have gotten to the quarterback. So yeah, really good stuff here. Harmon consistently able to win both in pass rush and in run defense. He is probably, I would say, the most complete interior defensive lineman outside of Mason Graham in this class for me. So I definitely think that that is something that you have to look at, and that's why he got drafted. That's what his value is that. So ultimately, that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video and want to hear more of my thoughts, well, for one thing, you can check out my movie channel. Yes, I have a movie channel. You can check the link in the description below. I do some fun things like some movie reviews, even some TV show reviews, tier list, fun things like that, so you can check that out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and paying attention to this channel, as there will be plenty of draft content. I plan on making a video for every first round pick, many of the other picks throughout the draft, and also I will do recaps for each team after the draft is over. So I will eventually talk about every single pick from your favorite team. Be on the lookout for that, as it will be out this weekend. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Jackson Kruger, or X, whatever you prefer to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching till the end of the video.